Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nikita, welcome to the Cryptus channel, and in today's video we're going to have a look at Heiko Finance, the canary project for parallel finance, whose Crowdloan is on live on Kusama right now. And we're going to look at the functionality of the project, which problems it's going to solve, and also take part in the Crowdloan live in the video, so you know which exactly buttons to press and what steps to follow to participate in the Crowdloan. Heiko Finance, just like Parallel Finance, has a lot of useful and impactful functionalities for both Kusama and Polkadot networks, which we though can't see exactly how they work on the homepage, but they're described very well in the white paper of the projects. So in this video we're going to recap all the most important functionalities for you, but without these nice pictures and diagrams because they're just not there yet, or they won't be there at all. But still we'll get the message and the most important idea to you. The first and really important functionality on Heiko Finance or Parallel Finance is going to be marginal staking, or leverage staking as it's called in the white paper. Basically what's called a lending service, and if you're familiar with other lending services, like for example on the Ethereum blockchain or on the Binance Smart Chain blockchain, then here we're going to have pretty much the same thing, just with a few different nuances. The way it's going to work is that we're going to have a pool here on Heiko Finance where we can deposit or stake our crypto into and then get some returns in form of annual percentage yields back for us for staking and for providing liquidity. On the other hand, other people may borrow the cryptocurrency which we've lent to the pool, or to them basically, and pay an interest fee back in return to the pool. So basically we're getting part of the interest fee for staking our crypto, and other people have more free capital from borrowing the crypto that we've lent to them. And now let's get more precisely into the idea how it works, because again, if you're familiar with lending services, then you already know how it's going to work. If not, then we're going to recap the most important things here. Let's have a look at the lender side or the staker side first. So for example, we want to stake our crypto, and so we freely do it on the platform from Parallel Finance or Heiko Finance, because again, these two platforms are all again the same thing. And we may basically lend our crypto out. Basically we're staking it into a smart contract, and then we're getting annual percentage rates or APR back in return for it, because other people use our crypto as liquidity. And that's a pretty secure way of earning money, because first of all, the annual percentage rates aren't that high, but they're stable, and our crypto can go anywhere. And this is basically the thing for the lender. It's really pretty simple here. Now let's look at the borrower side, why people even borrow crypto, and what are the mechanics of it. For the borrower side, everything is going to be a little bit more complicated, because first of all, you need to provide collateral in form of some different crypto to borrow other crypto or stable coins from the pool. And second of all, you need to watch out that your collateral, or the cost of your collateralized crypto tokens, does not fall between a certain liquidation mark, so that your crypto is not being liquidated. And so let's just bring up an example of how exactly it would work. Let's assume, just for an assumption, that you're having Bitcoin, because it's the most easiest thing to understand. You've got your Bitcoin coins, and you don't plan on selling them in the nearest future because you want to hold them, but you need extra capital for working on maybe some exchange, or you want to participate in the pre-sale, and you need stable coins, but again, you don't want to sell your Bitcoins. So what you do here, you can go to any lending service, like for example the Parallel Finance or Heiko Finance, once they're live, and say you wanna provide your Bitcoin as collateral, and against this collateral, you're then receiving some stable coins. This does not only have to be Bitcoin, these may be any other cryptos which are supported on this website. Then after you provide the collateral for the smart contract, so basically the Bitcoins are charged off your wallet, you're receiving stable coins in return of this. And typically the amount of stable coins you get in the USD price comparison is a little bit smaller than the amount of Bitcoin you leave as collateral, for reasons we'll explain for later. And basically later you can work with these stablecoins. You may use them as ever you want, but you always need to keep track of that. You need to give the stablecoins, the ones that you borrowed back, in order to receive your collateral. Plus, you need to pay an interest rate for using these stablecoins, and this interest rate is then going off for usage of the platform, and a part of this interest rate is being received by the lender who have actually lent you the stablecoins. In the end, that's a really cool thing, because first of all, if everything goes fine and your balance is not being liquidated, you're you're still having your Bitcoins in the same amount that you've collateralized, but plus you have received stablecoins so you can trade with them, or basically use some other pool to stake them, which we're also going to have a look on a little bit later in this video. But basically you're getting 2 times the capital for paying a small interest rate, and that's exactly how a lending service works and how the tokenomics there are working. The most important thing for the borrower to watch out for here is the collateralization rate. So typically it's always different on every cryptocurrency pair and on every lending service. You're paying like about 10 to 20% more in collateralization than you're getting your fixed loan. And this is just because in case the price of Bitcoin drops, it won't be profitable for the lender to lend you the stablecoins. Well, because the stablecoins he has lend you are now worth more than the collateral. So basically you can just walk away with the stablecoins and buy more Bitcoin, and in the end you have more Bitcoins that you've actually collateralized. So basically there's always a liquidation margin or a liquidation limit under which if the Bitcoin or the coins that you've collateralized drops, they're being liquidated, so basically taken over by the platform and by the people who have lent you your stablecoins, so that they don't take losses. And this is a really important thing because many people collateralize their Bitcoins and their other coins by 2 times the amount they took off in stablecoins, sometimes up to 7 times the amount they took in stablecoins in case the price drops dramatically, so their balances don't get liquidated, and that's a really important thing. So this is basically the functionality which Heiko Finance and Parallel Finance is going to provide to its users. So a two-way gateway in order for one person to stake their coins and get some APR, some annual percentage rate, so basically some interest, and get some stable returns from this, and so for the other people to lend their cryptocurrencies in exchange for a collateral and for paying some interest fees in order for using the capital. And another thing which is going to be used here is marginal staking and interest staking. This is a more complex way of normal lending services, and basically how they work I'll explain to you really short. Marginal staking is a way to borrow someone else's cryptocurrency and then lend it out to some more profitable pool. Let's say for example that you've got your Bitcoin, you collateralize your Bitcoin and receive some cryptocurrency. Let's just imagine it will be 10% annual percentage rate you pay for this for these stablecoins that you've just borrowed. Then you take these stablecoins that you borrowed and find another pool, like maybe on a completely other chain or on some other service, and you can stake your borrowed stablecoins there for, let's say, 11 or 12% APR. So basically you're getting 2% APR out of thin air, and while keeping your collateral in Bitcoin. This is a really risky thing, because if at some point of time your collateral is being basically liquidated, then you're losing all your gains. But still, if you're holding on to risk management, then everything should be fine, and you can gain some really good profits, and especially if you've got some really big capital in crypto. Heiko Finance and Parallel Finance are aware of these things that their users are doing, called marginal staking, where they again borrow some assets from one pool and lend it out over to another pool with greater interest. And basically they've introduced a functionality called margin staking, where their users can generate higher yield while minimizing risk. So this is basically a program for risk optimization for different pools, which the users can then use. And also they've got interest staking, which got protection against liquidation events and some other things. So a lot of really cool functionality. We've got these not the exact same functionality, but really a lookalike functionalities on other blockchains like Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain blockchains, and now it's going to be brought over to Kusama and Polkadot. The second functionality which Heiko Finance and Parallel Finance bring to Kusama and to Polkadot is algorithmic staking, and it has nothing to do with lending services. That's another story. Here we've got an option to stake our Kusama and Polkadot directly with Parallel Finance and with Heiko Finance, in order that they choose the validating nodes of the blockchain, which are paying you interest rates for staking for them, for validating the blockchain, which pay the most interest rate. So basically they take your Kusama or your Polkadot or your DOT and stake it into the nodes which provide the highest interest rates at the moment, so that you can maximize your income from staking your coins to the blockchain. The third functionality, and a really important one, but one which won't be available for us right at the launch of the project of Heiko Finance and Parallel Finance, because it's not ready yet, we guess, but it's going to be ready in the future, is called auction loans. And by the name we can tell that it's got something to do with parachain auctions and crowd loans. Basically this functionality is going to allow us to stay liquid while we're participating in the crowd loan, because what liquidity means is when we've got our Kusama or Polkadot or DOT tokens which we want to address towards a crowd loan, or which we want to provide towards a crowd loan in order to get the tokens of a project we're voting for, our Kusama and our DOT are getting locked locked for the amount of time which the parachain slot is being leased for. So basically these tokens become illiquid and we can't either sell them or trade them. And Parallel and Heiko Finance want to solve this exact problem. The way Heiko Finance wants to solve this problem is basically by accumulating the Crowdloan process in itself. So how it's going to work, just imagine that they're going to set up basically a pool or a smart contract where we can stake our Kusama or KSM into. Then other projects or parachains which want to participate in the Crowdloan process and win a parachain slot for themselves can go to this pool and borrow the Kusama or the DOT from there and basically try and win the parachain auction for this for leasing a slot. And for us as normal users, we will just have the same experience, just with one little difference. The same things is going to be that we're still giving out our Kusama, so we're basically freezing our original Kusama in this pool, and we're still receiving the tokens which are meant as the incentive for Crowdloan participation for the people which have participated in the Crowdloan. So here everything is going to be standardized, just like in the same Crowdloan process we're participating in right now on Kusama. The only difference is when we're staking these tokens into the pool, we're receiving PKSM as an exchange. So basically an exact representation or copy of the original KSM which we've staked, but this PKSM won't be frozen because it's basically like a mirror token from our original KSM. And this KSM can be then transferred, it can be sold, and basically thanks to this we will be staying liquid while freezing our original KSM in this pool. So all in all, the Crowdloan process through Heiko and Parallel Finance would look as following. Let's just take an example for the Kusama network. We're basically taking our Kusama tokens and staking them into the pool from Heiko Finance. Then a project can, or a parachain which wants to lease a slot, can go up to this pool, borrow tokens from there, and if it does, we're receiving their incentive tokens for the Crowdloan in exchange by freezing our KSM. Then we're receiving PKSM from the blockchain from Heiko Finance, which can be actually sold or traded just as normal KSMs, and it will be basically backed by the normal KSM because this PKSM token can be exchanged later to the normal KSM. So basically it's backed one-to-one by the KSM which we've put into the liquidity pool. This again means that we could transfer and sell these PKSM tokens and stay liquid all the time, because the people who will buy them, the end user, will always know that they're freely allowed to take these PKSM tokens and exchange them in return for normal Kusama. And that's basically the value of them, because they're backed one-to-one with normal Kusama. That's exactly how the project is going to work, and that's surely a really great thing to stay liquid while still participating in the Crowdloan, get our Kusama back, and also take the incentive tokens of the parachains which are going live on Kusama and Polkadot. Now let's have a look at the Crowdloan of Heiko Finance, which is available right now. So we will contribute our KSM to this in this video, so step by step, and also set up a wallet so you know exactly how to do this. But let's just first bring in a few words about the Crowdloans in the past, how effective and how profitable they were. There were a few Crowdloans, like for example Calamari and Moon River, which we've participated in the last few weeks and months, but the Moon River Crowdloan was probably the most profitable one because we've received tokens there already, we know how much they cost. And basically, let's just bring in as an example Moon River. For every one KSM, which was worth like 200 to 250 bucks at the point of the Crowdloan, which we could buy directly from any exchange, we will receive 14.5 Mover tokens. One Mover token at the time of the listing has cost $180 basically, and we have received 14 of them for every one Kusama token that we've contributed to the Crowdloan. Right now, or a few days after the listing, the Mover tokens were at about $500 per token. So you can calculate by yourself how much profit the Crowdloan has brought to us and to all the people who have contributed to it. Although we only got an unlock of 30% of the tokens which we've got in the Crowdloan, and the other 70% will be unlocked in the future, in the coming year, we still made giant gains from it just by receiving these 30%. So we basically made our KSM back and then made like, I don't know, 5-6x's just from these 30% that we have received already. And basically, this is not all the profits which we've received from the Crowdloan. The biggest thing which we've got is an allocation to the Moonbeam Crowdloan, which not to the Moonbeam Crowdloan, to the Moonbeam token sale, which was there live a few weeks ago. So we were basically whitelisted, and every account that was participating in the Moon River Crowdloan on Kusama has received a whitelist invitation to the token sale for Moonbeam, for the original network on Polkadot, to participate participate in it. This allocation on Moonbeam, and allocation is basically the right for somebody to contribute to a token sale or to participate in a token sale. So basically a whitelist is always worth a little bit of money. On every project is different. With the case on Moonbeam, an allocation could be sold for about $6,000 to $10,000 on the OTC markets per one account. So basically you could just sell your account, your wallet, and your email, and you will receive $6,000 to $10,000 for your Moonbeam allocation without the tokens, just the right for participating in the token sale. This basically means that the more accounts we would have used to participate in the Moon River token sale, the more allocations we will have gotten, and the more accounts we will participate in the Moonbeam token sale. So we figured this out. We used the same technique for Calamari. So we basically had 10 or even more accounts for Calamari, which we all funded and which we used to participate in the Crowdloan. And then we also have received allocations to the Manta network, which is going to be there on Polkadot once Polkadot launches. So we recommend, or we don't recommend, we suggest using multiple accounts on the token sale or on the Crowdloan for Heiko Finance, just in order if they're going to make such an incentive program for the main chain for parallel finance as well. But this is not guaranteed, it's just a probability that they will do something like this. Well, we've got all the theoretical infos. Now let's get into it, how to participate in the Crowdloan for Heiko Finance. Basically, that's a really simple process. We just need to set up our wallet for contributors and our tokens and then contribute. And contributing takes like 1 to 2 minutes. So if you've got a Kusama account already, it's basically like 1 minute for you. If not, let's set up a Kusama account. What you need to do first is go to this website. The link is going to be in the description. It's called polkadot.gs extension. And then you press download for Chrome or for Firefox. This is basically the wallet, just like MetaMask, which will show up our addresses and basically use to sign transactions on the internet. We've already installed it. Here it is on top. And basically, if it doesn't show up to you after you've installed it, you just go here to the puzzle. It's here in Chrome, and then press on the pin here, and it will show up to you. We've got already multiple accounts here set up, but for you, this will be set up empty because you won't have any accounts here. So basically, you need to create your account here. In order to create your account, you just go here on this little plus icon and then press on create new account. And here is your seed phrase. Please write it down or save it in a safe place, because this is basically the only way you can restore your account or bring it over to another device if you need it. So basically, you just copy this to clipboard and save it anywhere. I won't save the phrase because I won't use this account and I won't even create it. I'll just show you the process. Next, you press here on I save my mnemonic seed for safely and go to next step. Here, if you're using the account for a Kusama parachain auction or Crowdloan, you need to choose the Kusama relay chain. That's important. Then you just type in your account name. It can be anything, account number 1, and then you just make up a password for this account, any password, and repeat the password. For me, the passwords don't match up because I just pressed that random letters, but if your passwords do match, then you just press on add the account with the generated seed, and your account will be basically complete. It will show up here. If you press on this P icon, your account will be basically not in the list. It will be the only account if it's your first account. An important thing is that you can't send or transfer your funds out from this Chrome extension or Firefox extension, because as you can see here, you've got just this receive option where you can copy your account name. Basically, in order to send or transfer funds or get access to this wallet, you need to go to polkadot.gs.org/apps and accounts. And I will leave the link to this in the description. This is basically the main governance portal for all the wallets and all your accounts which are there in the Chrome extension or in the Firefox extension. And from here, all the balances, all your wallets show their own balances. And basically, also you can press the send button. In English, it will be sent here, and basically you can transfer your balances just like as you will do on MetaMask or on an exchange or just basically anywhere. And here we've got our account. It's called Heiko2, where we'll be using this for funding our Crowdloan, and the KSM which we want to use for funding it is on Heiko1, because we've recorded this video in a different language before, and so we've got some KSM left over here. So in order to fund your account, or basically transfer KSM to your account, you just need this information here. So our account is Heiko number 2. You just press on this copy icon here, and your address is copied. Then on an exchange like say Binance, you just paste this account name. The network name should be selected automatically to KSM or Kusama, and if it wasn't selected, then you just press KSM or Kusama, and then you type in the amount of KSM you want to contribute to the Crowdloan, or basically to transfer to this wallet. Typically on many exchanges there is a least amount of KSM of 1 that you can't transfer out of the exchange, less than 1 KSM, so keep that in mind. Basically, I won't use an exchange because my KSM is stored here decentralized, and I just send here, just press here on send, and basically I've chosen the account from which I want to transfer, and I will choose the account which is going to be the recipient from here. I can also just type in the account by hand if I want to. So I've copied the address before and I'm just pasting it here. The same thing you will do on the extension, and it shows up for me. That is the Heiko address too. Then in the sum of number of KSM I want to transfer, I just type in, let's say it's going to be 0.888 for me because I don't need the other KSM on the other account. And what I do next is just I'm pressing on this transfer button over here down on the right. I just press on transfer the funds, and then I press again the same button where it says sign and send. Basically the signature window is opening for our account, and I'm just typing in the password which I've set up before, which you've also set up before. Wait a sec. And here we're done. I also press the button that the password is not required for the next 15 minutes, and then I press on sign the transaction, and the KSM is basically flying over from one account to another account, or basically from your exchange to your account. As you see here, it's already transferred here. In case if you will transfer the KSM from your exchange, it will take for like about 10 to 15 minutes max. All right, so as you can see, we're prepared now. Our Kusama account, which we want to use for the Crowdloan, is funded. So we've got the tokens which we want to contribute here, and what we need to do next is go over to Parallel Finance, to the website, and click to the contribute button over here. Or a different opportunity will be to receive extra tokens. Just press the link on the description. This is our referral links, or like partner link from here, from the webpage. And if you're using this link, then you're going to receive 5% tokens extra on top. So if you would buy like, for example, 1,000 of Heiko tokens, you would receive 1,050 tokens instead of 1,000 for the same payment amount, and also we will receive 5% on top of this, and we'll be thankful for you if you do use our referral link. So now what we need to do on this side over here, we first need to select the wallet or the Kusama address we want to use for the Crowdloan. The Heiko one is selected for us here right now. That's not the one we want to use, so we just press over here at Heiko 2 and click on switch. Next we need to type in the amount of KSM we want to contribute. So for us it will be 0.1 KSM for demonstration purposes, and we will get estimatedly 20 HKO for this Crowdloan. Next we've got the option to type in the referral code here. We will just use any referral code here. So basically we're receiving 1 token extra on top because that's 5% of 20, and the account whose referral link we have used will also receive some tokens on top. Next we can just click on this checkbox right here, and now we press contribute, and now we need to sign the transaction. We again type in the password, and just press remember password for 15 minutes, but I don't think we need to retype it again. So we just press on sign the transaction, and the transaction is basically complete like in 2 to 3 seconds. And right now we can see that 0.1 KSM is locked. We are going to receive 20 HKO tokens as a reward that we can later claim once if Heiko Finance is going to win this parachain auction. If it doesn't, then these 0.1 KSM will be just returned or refunded for us. Well, and that's actually that easy to contribute to Crowdloan. Basically that's it. You don't need to do anything further anymore. Just keep in mind that the community of Heiko and Parallel may send out some posts to the people who contributed to the Crowdloan where you need to sign in with your Kusama account that you use. So please don't use it in order to maybe get some more rewards or some allocations to the token sale on Parallel Finance. And that's basically it. So you don't need to do anything more. All the links which will be needed in order to participate in Crowdloan and to set up our wallet will be in the video description below. Well, now let's get to a conclusion what Parallel Finance and Heiko Finance actually is. Heiko Finance and Parallel Finance are going to bring, first of all, lending services and marginal staking services to the Kusama and Polkadot blockchain. So basically, people may stake their tokens there and receive some yield or annual percentage rates or some basically rewards for staking their tokens, and other tokens will be able to collateralize their assets and get some tokens borrowed in return. And basically, then they can use the tokens to farm some other pools or for the needs that they want. This is the main functionality. Also, we're going to have some smart staking over here, or algorithmic staking, which is going to choose the nodes which are paying out the most stakers reward to the stakers right now, so we can increase our income from staking and validating the blockchain. And also Heiko and Parallel Finance are going to bring in the functionality of basically liquid crowd loans, where we can get P, KSM, and P dot for providing our KSM and DOT for crowd loans, and always stay liquid, because we will be able to sell these tokens or trade these tokens at any time, and they will never be locked. Considering the crowd loan, we have an invite or a referral link down for you in the description. With this link, you will get 5% more tokens for participating in the crowd loan, and also we will get 5% of the tokens for participating in the crowd loan, so everybody profits from this, and we'll be really grateful for you if you do use our link to support us. And that's basically it. You've got all the instructions of how to participate in crowd loans. You know what the project is looking like right now and how it will look once it's more developed and once it launches. And that's it for the video. I really hope that you like it. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I really hope that it was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see each other in the next videos. Bye bye.